If you like plantains, you'll probably love this recipe that I'm about to share, making plantain fries without the excess oil, so stay tuned. So let's briefly talk about plantains, especially if you're not familiar with it and want to try something new. So plantains is not the same as bananas. They are starchier and they are required to be cooked. They do not taste good if they're not cooked. And there are different stages of ripeness with the plantains. So the riper they get, the sweeter they are, just like bananas. See, a lot of people love their plantains fried, and it does taste really good fried. The only thing about that is it has excess oil, and a lot of those oils are hydrogenated oil, which is horrible for your health in many, many kinds of ways. It causes inflammation, which causes all kinds of diseases. So try to stay away from frying your plantains too much. And if you must fry them, try to use coconut oil or at least olive oil. But the best kind of oil to use is coconut oil because it works well with high heat. You can cook plantains in many ways. You can steam them, broil them, grill them, and some people like to add plantains in certain dishes. For this recipe, it's best to use either green plantains or a little bit ripe like these right here. You don't want to use plantains that are too ripe because it may get a little mushy if you fry them. And by the way, I am air frying this, so it's not going to be too greasy because I'm trying to cut down on using too much oil. So here I'm just cutting the ends of the plantains and peeling it, and then I'm gonna cut it up into quarters and then French fry shapes. And it doesn't have to be perfect, just as long as they are shaped like French fries. And then sometimes I do take the middle piece out, the piece with the seeds, but it's not necessary. So as you can see, this is not that ripe, and you don't want to use anything that's too ripe. And if you are going more for a starchier kind of potato taste, you might want to use the less ripe one, almost like the green one, even though those are a little bit harder to cut, especially in the shape. But I believe you can use a French fry slicer or dicer. I like mine a little bit sweet, and that's why I chose this ripeness. So I'm just gonna continue and cut the other piece the same way. One thing I must mention, if you just want strictly like plantain tasting plantains, you don't have to put seasoning, but at least add some salt to it. But I want this a little spicy, so I'm gonna add a couple of my favorite seasoning, and one is the seasoning salt, just a dash of that, and then a little bit of pink Himalayan salt. Also a little bit of this herbal seasoning, and I'm adding some olive oil. You can choose to add coconut oil. This will be air fried, so to give it that crispy taste, and also a little bit of the oil without having too much of that. I'm just gonna drizzle some of this olive oil, and also it helps it not stick together. And I'll just mix this up, and then I'll add a little bit more spices, some red pepper, and then mix it some more. Another way to get these fries nice and crispy is by adding arrowroot powder. And the arrowroot powder helps it not stick together and also gives it this nice crispy taste. I use about a tablespoon and a half, and I just sprinkle some on the plantains and gently toss it around, make sure everything is mixed in. And by the way, arrowroot is tasteless, so it doesn't affect the taste of the plantains at all. And also, I should mention that plantains have complex carbs, It is high in fiber, it keeps you satiated, and it is also a good source of vitamin C, potassium, B6, and other minerals. Once everything is mixed in well, I transfer it on this mesh tray, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the air fryer. One mistake I made though, normally I air fry this for 15 minutes, but for some reason I wasn't paying attention and I overcooked it like by 5 minutes. So 15 minutes worked better. 20 minutes, it's a little too much, and as you will see, it got a little overcooked, but it was still really tasty. 20 minutes later, they are done, ready to be eaten, and I like to eat my plantains with some kind of sauce. So by the way, I made 2 different sauce videos. If you want to check that out, is on my playlist. It tastes really good though with this sauce. I guess you can use ketchup too if you prefer that, but this sauce is really tasty with plantains. Anyway, let me know how you like this video. If you do like it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're on your way of becoming a better version of yourself, make sure you do subscribe and hit the post notification button so you'll be notified when I post my next video. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a blessed day, night, evening, wherever you are, and I hope to catch you on my next video.